day, Dawns ARKS! Welcome everyone to your Phantasy Star podcast, recorded live on April 25th, 2023. I am one of your hosts, PrinceBrightstar, and with me is Rooks and Zance. Go ahead and say hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, everyone.
So, we've got another headline to react to here today, and this is, I guess, where we're going to really start to get some real hints about Ultra Evolution. We may not get everything that we want to know about today, but I'm expecting, at least we're going to get some kind of a teaser trailer, not your typical trailer, as well as maybe a name drop for whatever the next chapter or expansion is going to be called, if it's not called Ultra Evolution. But I guess we'll see.
I am hoping for just more info about the player housing. That's what I care about mostly.
You and a friend of mine. Personally, I really hope they clean up the systems the game has. The gathering system is subpar by most standards, and I really hope that they just basically get rid of combat sectors and replace it with a quest system, and so that we're not necessarily locked to a single region or combat zones.
That'd be nice, yeah. I'm also hoping that they go back to the old way of doing urgent triggers so that you don't need two sets of triggers to get a full party in there. And hey, Ripichi.
Wait, you need two sets of triggers for a full party?
Yeah, for a party of 8.
Huh.
I suspect that's because of how they have the triggers currently running. Because the current way is if the person with the trigger leaves or is unable to complete the quest, the triggers don't get spent. But the problem with trying the other method means that if the person leaves, the other parties also get disconnected as well, and it may not even get an opportunity to finish with them. So, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of it's a good idea in that at least the way they kind of did it, in just the fact that, you know, now you don't, if you lose the player, you don't lose the trigger as well. But I still think they could have done this a little bit better at the same time, especially with the whole system they set up where you got the leader and then a sub leader. Why can't you span that across multiple parties? But I don't think we're going to get any kind of fix for that today here. But yeah, just looking briefly at the roadmap here before they kick things on. Obviously, we still got the 2nd anniversary going on here, including apparently a 2nd anniversary boss rush quest. Now, the question is going to be, is that the 24-man quest that's coming up, or is that going to be something different? Sort of like Towards the Future style.
I would like Towards the Future style.
That could be fun. Yeah.
And then when Ultra Evolution actually does hit, we're going to get creative space, of course, as well as additional class skills and the level cap raised to 75. The question that's kind of in my mind is, okay, once we hit level 75, is that it? For New Genesis, and then do we move on to a new expansion where our levels get reset again, or are they actually going to continue with our current characters?
Well, that's the question, is which version actually... By the way, they went live, but nothing yet. So the question is, which side of the translation actually comes true? The global localization makes it sound like the player character is this unique guardian-like character at the end, despite being a clone. And then the Japanese side with the fan-driven translation makes it sound like they're basically just reached the standard level of a 3rd generation ARC, and that it sounds like we're are going to become the template for the entire new generation of ARKs.
Yep. Or at least one clone that's of 4th generation. I mean, I've been thinking if that's what's going on, are we going to be perhaps following the story now of Aquilo? And for those that don't know, Aquilo is... Oh, never mind, we're starting.
Now we're starting.
Welcome back, everybody, to NGS Headline.
Hello, everyone. It's 9 p.m. So let's get
It is not
started
9 p.m.,
with
it's 8 a.m.
NGS Headline.
That's
I'm
Japan
the host
time.
of this show, Hiro
I
Arai,
know.
the official NGS
It
navigator.
is not time zone, it is time
Here
zone.
to bring you the latest info on NGS. Now that you've had a bit of time with the new Slayer class, how did you like it? If you haven't tried it yet, I encourage you to give it a test drive. The Gunblade's rapid combo attacks are really satisfying to use. The
It is, but it's
NGS
also
second
very
anniversary
Scion
event
class-like.
is currently underway,
Yeah.
Yep.
with the second round of events starting
And
tomorrow.
I'm more powerful going Hunter, at least for the
We've got
time
a
being,
variety
although,
of
like you were saying,
projects
Rooks,
and
could
campaigns
be
for you.
familiarity
So
with
be
that.
sure to join us. Once again, this program is to inform players about the present and future of Sega's online RPG, PSO2 New Genesis, or NGS for short, with info on current operations, future updates, campaigns, and more. This is a pre-recorded broadcast. If you would like to watch it in Japanese, you can check it out on the Japanese NGS YouTube channel. Without further ado, let's move on to the updates you've all been waiting for.
So we're probably starting with more anniversary stuff here.
NGS.
Yep.
Hot information. First off, I'd like to share some info on the May updates. Let's start with a video.
Alright, that's the Command Dolls Urgent Quest music. Revival
Ooh,
scratch
revival
tickets,
scratch
okay.
packs. Okay.
I think we get these for free. Well, get some draws from for free.
Oh, the room's back. Nice.
Gotta bring back those Slayer camos now.
They brought back the Nay Sword. I'm not going to be unique anymore.
Hey, I'm fine with price drops. Oh,
Space
the
Rappies!
Rappies!
Oh, cool! I still
Ooh,
want a
24 player.
of those crappies.
Yep. And so it's Dustal and Renisratem for your Type B materials for your level 6 potential.
Good.
Oh, I just saw one where they give you 30 of them for each.
Oh, then I'd be almost done then.
Oh, design contest items.
I have a feeling I have a friend who's going to like that outfit.
Oh, yeah. Ooh,
Yeah,
Oh,
set.
that is a
good
cool one.
cast. That is such a cool cast.
Yep. Especially with the flame coming out there.
Like, finally getting some good cast part.
Yes.
Rappy face.
I saw that Rappy face paint.
They brought back the monomates.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Drinking the monomate. Not sticking yourself with a shot. For those that don't remember, back when the PSO2 Alpha happened, you would inject yourself with monomate instead of drinking it.
Yep.
I am wondering if they took into account the American side for this.
Well, they're already onto the motions, so I don't know if we're going to get any cast parts with this. Which is a real shame.
Ooh, that's a cool mag form.
Geometric Lab is back. Is this all AC scratches so far?
Yep.
And
Well,
SG?
there was one that was SG, yeah.
Yeah, so where's the content?
That's a good question. Well, here's the thing. They always get all the AC stuff out of the way first, and then they move into the actual content. They just front
thought it
load
was
with
the
the
other
AC
way.
stuff. No, they front load. And then do content.
That's a big room there. What, are we getting prop hunt now?
That
I
might
would
be
like
fun.
that. Riding a drone.
I always wondered what those things were in Central. I mean, that's one step away from the board from Reboot.
Okay, this map looks kind of familiar, but with new enemies. This looks like the same one they brought out last year. So if
I
I'm
have a
right, there should be
feeling
some rapid
Foreign
singing
Souls-
around there.
I have a feeling Form Soul 4 is about to see even more of a price drop.
Yep, there it is, Resplendent Nexalio.
What did you think? Let me walk you through the updates with some slides.
It's kind of a weird cutback.
Let's start with this. We've also got 2 Revival AC scratch tickets dropping on May 1st. Popular past motion changes, hairstyles, and more are making a comeback in Reminiscence Collection May 2023. Scratch count bonuses include the return of Brash's Anima ears, ear covering extension, and more. Dress up your weapon with one of the PSO2 spec weapon camo re-releases in Weapon Camo Collection May 2023. Scratch count bonuses will give you another shot to pick up weapon stealthing and Ophistia Lightblade.
So yeah,
The
not
scratch
much,
count bonuses for
like
both
tons of
scratch
scratches
tickets
here, but not
include
much
a
in terms of actual
4S
content.
Augment capsule. So be sure to check
So
them out.
my question becomes, are they actually
The
dedicating
second
like a
half of
ton
the
to
NGS second
Ultra
anniversary
Evolution then?
event starts on May 10th.
I tolerate it if that's the case.
At Shiemi's seasonal points exchange shop, you'll be able to exchange for extra dual quest boost augment capsules, and a wider variety will be available. Plus, you'll be able to trade in more NGS second SP scratch tickets. In addition, Tai Tai's Speku Rappy, the grand award winner of the Rappy Design Contest, will appear in-game to commemorate the second anniversary of NGS. They have a unique appeal, so see if you can track some down. ARKS records will also be held during the period. This time, it will be for Stia's 3 Trainia, Rank 2 solo for all classes. Put your skills to the test. And we've got the limited time quest, a wasteland interception, available for 1 week only. This 24-player quest features back-to-back battles with the urgent quest boss enemies Dustelvera and Renisvera.
If you need to get your titles done, now's the time to do it.
Upgraded to Megalotics, so watch out for their hard-hitting attacks. Completing the quest will net you seasonal points, augment capsules designed to
Just
give
how
you
long
a
the
boost in
fight
dual
will take,
quests,
though.
and required items to unlock potential level 6.
Well, depending upon the situation, I mean, you could potentially skip out on the Renisvera part of it and just abandon
your closest friends and stomp these boss enemies
and just
together.
do the Dustelvera instead, because you can get Renisvera through the story as well.
A limited time title to coincide with this limited time quest. By completing the quest, you can earn Star Gems and the title Fresh Grass. We're also adding special.
Are they
daily
telling us
tasks,
to go
weekly
touch
tasks,
grass?
and limited
Yes.
Didn't I
time
just
tasks.
do that a few weeks ago?
NGS second SP scratch tickets. as
You already
rewards.
did. Yeah, like Brightstar doesn't need to do that. I already
In the
did it.
limited time
I can't
quest,
believe a
earn
joke I
seasonal
did for
points.
April Fool's is actually
You can
relevant
earn the
here.
recently introduced mineral photon chunk 2A and
You might have a
2B
fan,
as rewards.
Brightstar.
Now is your
They might
chance
be
to
happy
score
to
some
see someone's
sweet
actually
loot.
paying attention to the
So
lore.
get yourself an ice cream and get busy grabbing those
The
seasonal
lore of
points.
touching grass.
Next up, the new AC Scratch Ticket, Designer Dreams, May 2023. This ticket includes the first group of items from the winning entries to the PSO2 10th Anniversary Item Design Contest. Tons of enchanting outfits, cast parts, and accessories will make their debut. Scratch count
You know, something we
bonuses
haven't had in a
feature
long
alternate
time is
versions
a
of the slide dash
player
motion
survey, and I
changes,
wonder when they're going to
included in
actually
the
get
Scratch
to
Ticket
doing one of
prizes.
those again.
So dash over and grab them before they slide
Also,
away.
that female cast outfit as well looks so
Although
good.
it wasn't in the video, to celebrate the 2nd anniversary of NGS, we're showing our thanks with the Revival AC Scratch Ticket, 2nd Anniversary Thankful.
We're showing our thanks
Coming
by
May
you
10th.
giving us more money.
It's full of popular PSO2 spec accessories, hairstyles, and emotes. In addition, the ticket-only version of 2nd Anniversary Thankful, which can only be drawn from tickets obtained during the Scratch Ticket release period, will be available at the same time. The prize lineup is identical to that of the 2nd Anniversary Thankful, excluding the Scratch Count bonus. Items available from this Scratch Ticket, including those in the ticket version, are eligible for AC Recycle in NGS blocks.
Oh, interesting.
Starting May 17th, new items will be added to the SG Scratch Ticket Refined Form May 2023. The ARKS Blazer, the top-ranked item in the survey regarding item remakes, will be available in NGS specs.
Was it really, or
The
was
hot
it just on the
prizes
Japanese
include
side?
Avatar items related to the Type 2 ARKS
Might have just
Blazer,
been on the Japanese
for which
side,
the win
yeah.
rate will be doubled. The Scratch Count bonus will also feature a motion change motion idle wiping away sweat, so keep an eye out for that too. Among the items that are being added, items related to the survey regarding item remakes will no longer be available after the next update, so be sure not to miss out. The Mission Pass NGS Season 20 offers 2 accessories based on units released in PSO2, an effect color variation of the Motion Change Motion Glide Defensive, as well as the new mag form D Alwing. Also, it's not on the slide, but ARKS records for the Geometric Labyrinth will start on the same day, May 17th. It will be available for Rank 2 solo for all classes. All you have to do to participate is partake in the eligible content during the period. So join on in and grab your rewards.
Trying to drag the content
On
out
May
as much as they
24th,
can.
The NGS
Yep.
2nd Anniversary event will start to wind down. First, although not introduced in the video or the slides, Shiemi's Seasonal Points Exchange Shop will be getting a final update, where she'll be stocking special accessories and a color variation of the Motion Change Motion Glide Airboard B.
Okay.
In addition, the number of exchangeable NGS second SP scratch tickets and augment capsules effective for dual quests will be added. We also have a limited time quest, Dazzling Chaos Suppression Op 2023. This is a renewed version of the quest of the same name that was available for a limited time in the past. Last time, only Elio and Retum enemies joined the fight. But this time, Kavaris and Stia enemies will be coming as backup,
Ooh, nice.
making the quest even more lively. As before, Rappies will be joining the quest to cheer for you along the way. Stellar packs will fall after the boss enemy is defeated, and Resplendent Necks awaits you at the end of the quest. What's more, this time, Quartz Skoden, which is usually encountered only in Newsome Plant, is guaranteed to make an appearance. At the end of the quest, as in the previous one, Captain may also grace us with their presence. So keep
If you
playing
need the
for a chance to
Skoden
meet them.
title, you can get that here
You'll
too.
also get seasonal points when
I was
you
just
complete the
thinking,
quest, as well as star gems and the limited time title Lush Spring.
whenever you get the
You'll be able
capsules
to snap
from
up
it,
items
guaranteed,
required to
like
unlock
in
potential
Newsome.
level 6 and the 8-star rarity Revita weapon series. Furthermore, augment capsules that are effective in dual quests are more likely to drop. During
Okay.
this period,
Yep.
special daily and limited time tasks will also be available, so you'll have a chance to get even more NGS second SP scratch tickets. Play every day so you don't miss out on those scratch tickets. Finally, we are pleased to introduce the new AC scratch ticket, Soul of the Wild. Go wild with animal-like outfits, sporty street-style swimsuits, and the adorable posing emote, I'm a cat.
I'm a
Scratch
cat.
Down bonus will include an alternate version of the riding a drone motion changes included in the scratch ticket prizes, so keep an eye out for those as well. That's all for the May update info. Next up, today we have more news on the NGS Ultra Evolution update, scheduled to release in June, focusing mainly on the creative space. And I would like to share this information with all of you through a video message from Mr. Kimura, the series producer of this game.
Oh.
Okay.
Please enjoy.
And I guess right, this was not a standard trailer.
Yeah.
Hello everyone. My name is Yuya Kimura from Sega. I am the series producer for Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. I would like to thank all the ARKS operatives for playing NGS. Thanks to all of you, NGS will soon celebrate its second anniversary. When NGS first launched, the game had a significant number of bugs due to the transition from
Oh, it
PSO2
did. It had
and
so.
suffered from a distinct lack of content, both of which were a source of concern and inconvenience to everyone involved. In particular, it took a long time to resolve the lack of content. This April, we were finally able to complete the release of the 4 regions, their related stories, and the 18 weapon categories from PSO2 that had been planned since the launch of NGS. To be perfectly frank, we started NGS with the assumption that we would be able to deliver regions, weapons, and classes to you at a faster pace. However, once we started, we found that we had more difficulty than expected in operating a system that coexists with PSO2, a setup rarely seen in other online games. We also had unforeseen delays in the development of open fields and high-end graphics, where we suffered from a lack of experience. And while we course-corrected as needed based on users' reactions to daily updates and operations, we continue to develop the content that was originally planned. It has been 2 years of constant trial and error. Although this situation came about by being overly optimistic, we hope players understand that we have been working diligently for the past 2 years to improve NGS and to make it more enjoyable to play. Regarding how NGS is managed, Hiro Arai and the rest of the PR and management staff are in charge of relaying new information to players, while the developers, myself included, focus on game development and keeping up to speed on the reactions and opinions of players. There will be no big changes in our strategy going forward, but I wanted to take this opportunity to speak to everyone because, as I mentioned, we have now completed the release of the main content of NGS planned since its inception, and with the game's second anniversary approaching, I wanted to express my gratitude to everyone again. I would also like to take this opportunity to share with you directly an overview of the new NGS with a focus on the creative space, which is scheduled to release in June under the tentative title of Ultra Evolution Update. This has gotten a bit long, so without further ado, let's move on to a video.
Hey! More stuff in the creative space.
Yep. Okay, so...
Okay, switches.
Yep.
Ooh. Well, there's your jumping puzzle elements.
Yep.
Nice.
Oh, you can create your own quests then.
Oh!
Kinda. Can they spawn in enemies, though, that you fight?
I guess we'll see.
Make your own, like, races? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this.
So not just only jumping puzzles, but actual, like, timers
Obstacle
and such.
courses.
Supporting up to 100 players.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a lot of fun with that.
Oh, switch puzzles. Okay. I could see some players coming up with some really unique ideas there.
I'm gonna have so much fun with this, holy.
You can... I don't think that's an actual Aegis, but wow.
Like, this is so much more advanced than the personal pieces.
Yeah, this is a true evolution of the My Room function.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, on the field as well?
Huh.
So not just within the creative space, then.
Interesting. You just place Rappy Dolls.
Are you able to actually spawn enemies?
That was cute.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting actual code for... Well, actually, it would be interesting if we were getting PvP that way. So the fact that we're getting cell shading, that kind of tells me, yeah, we might be getting a new expansion fairly soon, because the last time we got a major graphics update like this, we got New Genesis.
I like cell shading.
Okay, but what about gameplay changes?
Here we go, Starless.
There's the cubes again.
Yep. New Genesis version 2.
Ooh! Yeah, version 2, baby.
What did you think? In June, NGS will step into a new future with the Ultra Evolution update, aka PSO2 New Genesis version 2. In addition to the creative space functions that have already been introduced, the new Connect system will be available to the public for the first time. With this system, users can create a variety of ways to play and express themselves. With the only limitation being their own creativity, we are very much looking forward to seeing what kind of original worlds our users will create. In addition, the portable hologram will be added as a new means of communication in the PSO2 series on top of our signature communication methods, such as emotes, cut-ins, and symbol art.
I am worried about the trolling
Unlike
with
the building materials
hologram.
and furniture in
Yeah.
the creative space, these can be placed anywhere in the game, albeit temporarily, and will allow you
Yeah, it's
to
just
enjoy
temporary.
unprecedented communication and in-game screenshots. Also, a cell shading feature will be added, introducing a new level to our ultimate character creation. Unlike most games with cell shading, this is a pseudo function that is applied only to the characters, and it can be toggled on and off at any time in the options. We hope that you will enjoy NGS with a slightly different atmosphere to match your preferences.
PSO2 version 2,
In
second
addition,
edition, second
A
release.
new type of enemy emerges as a threat, and battles become even more intense. Although not
But yeah, the cell
introduced in the
shading, I'm
promotional video this
absolutely
time,
going to be
a new story that
activating
continues from the recently
immediately.
released Chapter 5 is scheduled to be developed, as well as crossover quests with other works that we have never collaborated with before. We are also planning to deliver the PSO2
Crossover
11th
quests?
anniversary event in July, and a new type of quest content in August. So I hope you're looking forward to NGS version 2. Currently, the second anniversary event is underway, so there is a lot in the works on that front as well. We hope to see a great many of you logging into the game to celebrate the second anniversary, enjoy the events, and get excited about version 2 with other users. In addition, as a little gift from the development team to commemorate the second anniversary, a short making-of video will be released every week for 6 consecutive weeks, starting on April 26th, to give you a little glimpse behind the scenes of NGS development. Once again, thank you so much for always loving and enjoying playing NGS. Everyone on the development and management team will continue to work together to meet your expectations and keep moving NGS forward as a service. We hope you will continue to stick with us. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I hope to see you all again sometime soon. Thank you, Mr. Kimura, our series producer. We all hope you look forward to PSO2 New Genesis version 2, coming in June.
So what do we think of the apology? If we even want to call it
We'll
that.
have even more details in the next broadcast, so please look
It
forward to it.
did feel sincere a bit,
That's it
but
for
it's
the
also
update
just
information I
it's a
have
corporate
for today.
apology.
Moving on
Yeah,
to
corporations
the next
don't really like apologizing.
Yeah.
segment.
Just
NGS
reference
Operation Report.
recent events.
Yeah, they didn't even mention
For this
the
segment,
move to
The
Sapporo.
NGS Operation Report. I, Hiro Arai, select questions and comments from players to bring to the development and live operations teams, and bring you their answers. Here is the first one. The item catalog page that used to be on the official site was useful, and I would like to see it brought back. Here is our team's response. Since we stopped publishing the item catalog, we have continually received requests to bring it back. In response, we are planning to reopen the item catalog page in a simplified form, although it will not be exactly the same as before. We plan to focus on newly released AC scratch tickets and publish a page with key information, such as thumbnail images of the prizes and item names, before the scratch tickets are released. That was their answer. We have received many requests around this issue. It will be reopened, albeit as a simplified version, so please hang in there for just a little while longer. Let's move on to the next question. For characters with larger physiques, the waist area of outfits bulges more than necessary, and it looks bad. Could you please improve this? Here is our team's response. In response to your request, we are planning to add a function that will allow for some adjustment of how clothing spreads over the waist area. Please note that this will be limited to NGS blocks. Thank you for your patience until this can be implemented. That was their answer. With the way the system works, it can be difficult to get clothes to fit snug and tight. However, to the extent possible, this should help reduce bulging. Let's move on to the next question. Could you please allow me to apply depth of field so that I can have more fun taking screenshots? Here is our team's response. In response to this request, we are planning to add a function to enable depth of field outside of event scenes as well.
A little too much focus on the fashionistas out there.
This is another request we have received for a while now.
Yeah, but it's how they make the majority of their money from the game.
Let's move on to the next question. Due to the large area over which enemies spawn during PSC bursts in some combat sectors, you have to move all over to defeat each enemy. Do you have any plans to address this? Here is our team's response. Since the spawn area of enemies during PSE bursts differs in each sector according to the terrain, we plan on reviewing the enemy spawn area in the future. That was their answer. Let's move on to the next question. How will I get building materials and furniture for my creative space?
Okay, that's a good one.
Here's our team's response.
Yep.
Many build parts, the main building materials, will be able to be purchased using new in-game points called Genesis points. You can earn Genesis points through gameplay, primarily by completing tasks related to the creative space.
So it is not an AC
In addition,
thing.
when parts of furnishings from PSO2 are released with NGS specs, in many cases they will be sold directly in the SG shop. Other than that,
Okay, SG instead.
we plan to release other parts that can be obtained through the login bonus, SP scratch tickets, SG scratch tickets, and so on, although the percentages for these parts will be low. Furthermore, some special parts and lab-related parts will be made available via the AC shop and AC scratch tickets.
Here you go.
For these
Yep.
only,
Yeah.
we plan to make pre-registration tickets that can be put up for sale in the personal shop. That was their answer. That's all for our Q&A today. Moving forward, I will continue to select and bring your questions and feedback to the development and
Also,
operations
the
team
chat
and
on
share their
the
answers with
NGS Headlines thing is saying,
Please
and
also let
fun!
us know your thoughts about this show and
Yeah.
the game with the hashtag NGS Headline on Twitter and other platforms.
I guess Genesis
Moving
points
on to
could
the
be
next
considered the
segment.
new fun.
Yay!
NGS Satellite Information. Now let's move on from updates and talk about some other NGS-related info. I'm sure it will get you even more excited about the game. Let's get started. Starting May 10th, we'll be holding Part 2 of our NGS second anniversary campaign. Continuing the theme set in Part 1, special daily tasks will be available for you to collect star gems, and you can get up to 2 exclusive tickets every day to use on the second anniversary Thankful Scratch ticket. You can get one of these exclusive tickets by logging in with a character that is at or above a specific battle power. You can get the other ticket by completing all the daily tasks for that day. You can earn up to 54 tickets during the period, so don't forget to hop on and earn them each day. The third campaign, starting May 24th, will feature a limited time login bonus. With this bonus, you can earn luxurious items such as an N-color change pass and both Photon Chunk 2A and 2B. Next, we would like to introduce the NGS character election, scheduled to start May 10th. To celebrate the release of Chapter 5 of the main story, an election will be held for the characters that appear in NGS. Please cast your vote for your favorite character out of those who have fought alongside you or supported you during the main and side stories.
So not Safeto, huh?
The character with the most votes will later be used as our motif for an in-game item. When voting begins, we'll announce it on the official site and Twitter account, so don't miss out. That's all for this episode of NGS Headline. Please share your thoughts and feedback on this program and the game using the hashtag NGS Headline. Together, we can make NGS an even more fantastic game. As a representative of the users, I will continue to work with the development team to make NGS a more enjoyable game for everyone, and I look forward to your continued support. The next episode of NGS Headline will be on Tuesday, May 30th. We'll have oodles of info to share with you about NGS version 2 coming in June.
I'll have to have all of the
Finally,
info about it.
don't forget
Yep.
to like and subscribe to our channel. Now then, ARKS, I'll see you at the next NGS Headline.
Thanks for watching here on Tuesday night. I'll see you on next NGS Headline. Bye-bye.
All right.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on that?
So, real quick, what I'm doing is I'm checking out the Japanese side just to see if there was anything that we missed out on here. Let's see.
Probably some like JP exclusive stuff like web money or anything.
Yeah, they had a web money thing. And then the character election, yeah, it's just web money that was on that side. So yeah, it was pretty much equal here.
Okay.
So, thoughts, I guess, definitely a lot of information from that, at least in terms of creative spaces, although not much information in terms of what's actually going to be happening.
But
yeah,
you were right in calling it for a new expansion or something like that. Well, it's version 2.
this is the second time I've managed to pull that off. First after episode 6, I was calling for an expansion, and we got New Genesis, and now we have a new expansion, which is version 2. Yeah. So, I'm getting good at this.
You're getting very good at predicting it. It's pretty scary.
I am kind of worried about. Okay, you notice how almost everything was focused around creative space. Now that wasn't a bit too surprised because they warned ahead of time. But my big thing is that the basic gameplay of New Genesis cannot support everything else if they don't update that.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where, like, I know my friend is a friend of mine is absolutely excited about Creative Space coming in. He's going to be even more once he sees all the features. But the problem is, Creative Space, you have to play the base game to get stuff. And if playing the base game is miserable, it doesn't matter how great Creative Space is. So they need to really update the gameplay of version 2 big time. Otherwise we're going to have version 2 is just going to be a repeat of version 1. The base gameplay needs a heavy overhaul. And I didn't see anything that really talks about it other than the Genesis points.
Mm-hmm.
No, and I agree with you. And something I should probably point out at this point is, in terms of version 2, this isn't the first time Sega's used version 2 as part of a game name. We had Phantasy Star Online version 2, and what happened in that?
Episode 1 and 2.
No, version 2 on
version
the Dreamcast.
2, yeah.
So what happened in version 2 on the
just...
Dreamcast? We got Ultimate Mode.
Also, level cap raised to 200.
Yeah. But basically, we had enemies that had changed form into a new form. So, does this mean, going by that logic, are we going to see, just throwing it out there, something happen to maybe the altars, whereby they change forms?
I was thinking more likely they were going to just replace the dolls in the field. That we would have things that those who are past the main story would have maybe a version 2 of the open fields where the starless start to show up and start being a real big problem, and we see less of the dolls, or possibly even the dolls maybe actually ally with the ARKS. That would be interesting to actually have in-field enemies actually have. In base PSO2, we had enemies fighting each other all the time.
Yes.
And in that never happens. That literally never happens. And that's partly because having enemies fight each other in an open field means that the open fields would be continuously depopulating themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But what if the Starless don't regularly spawn, but only show up for trials or such things? Then dolls could suddenly turn around and start assisting the ARKS against the Starless.
I've been wondering if Zafeto had left us the keys to switch them from kill mode to support mode. And, I've been calling for dolls to become, the next race that players can play as. So maybe it's a first step towards that. I guess we'll have to see.
Possibly.
Also, something from the Discord I posted in chat.
Yeah, I see it.
Yep.
So G-Wiz said, I'll add the further context that Tomorrow's Insight is only part of June's update and focuses mostly on creative space and the update aspect of the Ultra Evolution update. Yeah, that kind of goes without. They basically did say that at the front of this as well, that this was just a small look at what's happening. This is not going to be the full content of it. There's more coming, and in fact, I think I did hear, as we were all kind of talking over it, but I think I did hear that there was going to be story coming into play as well.
And we already had that discussion over the story as well, so I hope they at least listen and understand that the player character needs to become the player character story and not the Manon and Ina show anymore either.
We'll have to see. I mean, one of the paths I've been looking at for the story to take is it may turn into the Aquilo story, and Aquilo is a significant figure in terms of Idola Phantasy Star Saga. He was the one that led the people, that led ARKS to Vandor, and you can find his ARK ship on the planet there. NGS supposedly takes place several hundred years before Idola does, so it's possible Aquilo could start showing up now.
If that's the case, then they learn nothing, and they're going to tick off a lot of players.
Yep. This is just one possible path. I've got like 6 or 7 ideas at this point of where things could go, but that's just one idea I had.
One of the ideas.
Yeah, but if you've played the story of all the other Phantasy Star games, the main character was never you. You were always just another hunter.
That's not completely true. In Phantasy Star, that was the issue. So at this point, the player's relevance to the story has been until chapter 5 and NGS. The player's character has been almost pointless to be there.
Yeah, there.
So what I'm hoping is that by that episode 5, chapter 5 gave me a lot of hope that they are changing the direction, especially that ending with Aegis. But then there was also that little comment that apparently our character might become the basis for the next generation of ARKS. The next generation of Meteoron, to be specific.
Mm-hmm.
But that, let's just say, you can say your character was never the main character, but that's not really true because here's the thing. Phantasy Star Portable series and Phantasy Star Portable had the player character may not necessarily have been the main character, the one that things.
Yeah, because like in Portable 1 it was Vivian and Portable 2 was Amelia.
But here's the thing. They made it very clear that your character was what moved things for them. Basically, you healed in Portable 2, you basically healed Amelia's family, adopted family. You healed that family, and you brought them back together. Had your character not been there at all, you would be that basically you were the pivotal character. You may not have been up at front, but everything went back to your actions. Same thing with Vivian. In NGS, it feels like things would have just could have played out without us. And it's like, why are we here? I'm tired of being this
errand boy.
Yeah, being the errand boy. I'm not going to do another trading quest for the stupid Varus family.
Yeah, and I'm also kind of concerned by what they said in that teaser, and that they were having so many issues with the development of New Genesis because they also kept PSO2 open. I'm really hoping they're not going to shut the base game down.
And I hope they don't shut the base game down. Because there's no private servers up right now for this game.
We can't really talk too much about this publicly, honestly.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is. It's still like early in development.
As I said, I can't say anything about that.
Same here.
I'm checking Twitter, seeing if they put anything else new in the Twitter. Okay. Not saying anything really. Yeah, okay. Maybe we should move on to the story, the other news stories we have.
Yep. So let me bring that up here. Starting off, we've got a team-up campaign that is ongoing right now. So with this, you'll be able to get the Rappy Song accessory, as well as you'll also get some end color change passes and star gems during this campaign. This goes on until June the 6th. So just make sure you take advantage of this here.
A lot of these things just go through to June, which is nice. We actually have time to do things. We don't have to rush on it.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep. You just gotta make sure you join an alliance to get access to this. Moving on from that. So there is a bug currently where the game may become soft-locked when watching the events in the ARKS Chronicle main story.
Oh, beautiful.
So I've been recording, and I haven't encountered this bug yet with anything so far. I mean, I played through the story with my new Slayer character, nothing happened. And I've been recording and still nothing happened, so I'm wondering where exactly this occurs.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I went through that recently on the Japanese side and didn't have any issues. Moving on from that, mouse, keyboard, and/or game controller may not work in the PC version. So they have confirmed a bug that may prevent the use of mouse, keyboard, and/or game controller in the PC version of the game. So, for some context, a lot of players have been having issues being able to control the game remotely as of late. And
which is kind of strange because, you know, usually if something like this happens, it means like my Steam Deck should have issues immediately, because almost everything goes through the Steam controller API on the Steam Deck, from what I understand. But nothing like that's happened on the Steam Deck. In fact, the Steam Deck's even become significantly more stable lately, which is completely contrary, which is weird for me.
I think it's more the Steam
nice.
Link where the problem's happening.
That's the thing. The Steam Link uses the Steam controller, same Steam controller API.
Yeah, it does.
So if this is affecting the Steam Link, then it should be affecting my Steam Deck as well, but it's not. I mean, I can still even bring up the graphical keyboard and it still works. So I don't know what's going on here. It's not. I don't think it's Game Guard. It has something else has to be going on, and I don't get it.
Well, we were wondering if Welbia was in play, and apparently a couple of weeks before Slayer, or around the time Slayer came out, Welbia had gotten updated, so maybe that's in play at this point. I really don't know.
There is one option I could recommend people have if they have issues. There are tools like the USB rubber ducky that can be used, that maybe you could. I don't know how the system completely works, but I know it makes the computer think that it's a built-in keyboard. Maybe you could somehow use that to route your remote play through that, so that it looks like a real keyboard's hooked up. But then again, maybe this isn't even this is something else going on. Maybe this is affecting keyboards that are directly hooked up to the computer.
My keyboard is, and I wasn't having any issues with that. That's weird.
Yeah, I'm technically connected directly, although they're still wireless accessories.
So yeah, this isn't making much sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry to all the people who are having issues. I'd actually like to hear what your setup is, just to get an idea of what's going on.
Moving on from that, the Slayer Mission Execution campaign is still ongoing at this point here. So if you haven't traded in your passes yet, make sure to go ahead and do that, because that is going to go away on May the 9th, it looks like. And then you've also got all the limited time tasks going away, as well as the Gunblade Booster campaign going away as well here. That's the one where you're able to get some extras as you're enhancing the Gunblade. And then we've got the huge infographic here, which is the 2nd anniversary campaign. So let's just kind of run down this real quick here. So right now we have access to the Dual Quest. We have access to the 2nd Anniversary event shop. We have access to Happy Rappy Rumble. Now, that's been running all week, but starting next week, it's going to be a bit more rare for it to pop up in the urgent quest. Then we've got the seasonal trial Resplendent Alms. So if you haven't gotten your Alms parts yet, keep hunting. You've got the Let's Make Online ARKS ID campaign going on, which we'll cover briefly here in a moment. Plus, they've already given away some Star Gems and Meseta as part of limited time tasks. Starting next week, or technically this week, after maintenance, we're going to get access to seasonal standing quest, a Wetlands Interception, so that's going to be the one with the Command Dolls Vera, as well as the next Vera as well showing up in that. You'll be able to get your potential level 6A parts from that one. For B parts, you're going to need to run the Retem Urgent Quest for that, and if you have access to the triggers, you can either run those to get the rest of what you need for the B parts for the level 6 potential, or it could also be a good time to sell them if you're good to go on that. Then we got the limited time task parts 2 here. And then with the maintenance, there's also going to be the double standing login bonus, as well as a boost, which is going to give out plus 10% augmentation success for everything, it looks like. For the next part of the event, starting May the 10th, there's going to be the seasonal standing quest, a Wasteland Interception. That's where you're going to have Dustal Vera as well as Renus Retem, or Renus Vera rather, showing up in a quest. We got the character election coming up that week as well. You get a 2-a-day special AC scratch ticket giveaway. So...
Oh.
Yeah, so basically that means we're going to be able to scratch into an AC scratch. Now, I don't know if that means just for a specific AC scratch, or if this is going to be like passes that you can save and use later down the road for AC scratches.
Probably specific.
Yeah, they did that before and it kind of bit them.
Okay. And then part 3 of the limited time tasks, as well as the NGS 2nd Anniversary Story Completion Campaign. So that's going to give you an R-Form May 23 ticket. So you'll be able to select whatever you want from the scratch. And then you'll also be able to get some extra Meseta and experience from that as well. And then for the 4th part of the event, starting after the maintenance on the 24th, that's where we get the Dazzling Chaos Suppression Operation 23, featuring Resplendent Nyx. And that's where they're going to start dropping the augment capsules more frequently for the dual quests. At this point, I've taken care of the original. I've gotten ranks for each of the dual quests, but I don't have the augments I need to get the S ranks yet. That's going to require that I get the Makemess and the Pluto's augments. And then we've also got more limited time tasks, as well as the limited time login bonus. Oh, also there's a boost part 2 with Wasteland Interception. With that, you get a rare drop rate plus 50% and a drop item preset skill rate plus 100%. And then with the maintenance ending May 31st, there is boost part 3 for Dazzling Chaos Suppression Operation 23. You get a rare drop rate plus 50% and seasonal points plus 50%. So that'll be the time to grind your seasonal points if you don't have all that you need yet. And as they mentioned before, with the maintenance ending 5/31, there's also going to be a 2nd anniversary special gift, which we have no idea what that is yet.
Nope.
All right, moving on from that. So we kind of went through a good portion of this already here. This is just the full page of the details for the campaign for the 2nd anniversary. Moving on from that, there is a Let's Make Online ARKS ID campaign happening. So for this, you just need to make an ARKS ID. And then if you send out a tweet with hashtag NGS_2ND, everyone will receive 40 star gems at a later date. Or rather, if the number of tweets using that hashtag goes above their target, then everybody gets 40 star gems. There's also a second reward with this. Let's see, where was that again? I don't think it's listed here, but I saw something that there's also, I think it's 5 winners that are going to be selected, and they're going to get a whole bunch of star gems with that as well, if they get selected. Moving on from that, so this is just relevant for the rest of today. As we mentioned before, Happy Rappy Rumble, that's popping up with every single urgent quest, and after maintenance tomorrow, that's no longer going to be the case. You'll be able to see the regular urgent quests as well. So regarding the behavior of Defy augments when added to armor, so this has, let's just say up front here, Defy augments have been a disaster for this. Because you basically have to create an entirely new set of armor and a new weapon specifically for the purpose of getting these augments on them. And they only help out in the dual quests. When the way that it was initially sold to us, you weren't going... It sounded like, at least initially to me, this was going to be a one-on-one duel with the bosses to test your ability, and you can't even complete any of them without these Defy augments. So it's like, this was a complete miss.
And from what I understand, they weren't even that powerful compared to, like, the Field Gigantics.
Yeah. So it's like, this really didn't... This whole thing with dual quests really didn't even meet what was necessary. In terms of what the players expected it to be. So this...
Which is, once again, an issue with managing player expectations.
Yep.
This was meant to be more of a project to work on than actually a proper test of the players against bosses.
Much like how, like, some of the solo quests in Episode 5 were. Like, Episode 5 and 6 had, like, really strong and hard solo quests that was just a test of your skills.
Yep. And hey there, Janice. But yeah, this is it's a problem, that's for certain. And I hope that if they ever do dual quests again, they just completely drop Defy augments. That we don't have to do this again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it keeps being a problem is that they keep trying to get the players to create multiple sets of armor, and the problem is the players really don't want to do that because of how expensive it can get. But they want us to burn the setup, but they don't give us the setup to burn. And they're trying to burn the setup because of the bots that they can't get rid of properly because they aren't willing to hire the staff to police things.
It's definitely a problem. But that does start to fall outside the topic of discussion here. But yeah, let's move on here. So aside from crashing, just generally the game may also crash when you try to log in. So they've added additional countermeasures on this issue, implemented starting on the 19th, and they're continuing to monitor the issue. In addition, they confirmed that bugs below, which were addressed in the scheduled maintenance on April 5th, occurred again as a result of the countermeasures taken to address the issue. So there's a bug in which the change motions for Shadow Swim don't display correctly. And then there's also a bug in which the Basewear and Duskwake Regalia and its color variants may not display correctly under certain conditions. So yeah, they seem to be having a whole bunch of trouble with this Duskwake, because I have seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
All right.
It's almost like they keep releasing stuff without properly testing it or something.
I guess, yeah. So there is going to be no scheduled maintenance on May 2nd. So that's definitely interesting that they're doing that. But more than likely, that's because of Golden Week. That runs from April 29th to May 5th this year. And then apparently this week there was also an issue with Ship 4 where there were problems connecting to certain blocks, but it looks like at this point that issue
We had
has...
a member of the Discord.
Say again?
I remember a member of our Discord coming in and showing us the screenshots for this issue.
Yeah.
It was interesting. So to explain what was going on is that there is a dynamic system in PS2 where they rearrange the blocks that are available on a ship and where the blocks are allocated to based on the number of players. Because Ship 4 is such a ghost town compared to the other ships, they actually managed to completely take out the regions of Ritum and Kavaris for them, because almost no one was on those. So they blanked those regions and no one could actually get to those regions thanks to that.
Beautiful.
Yep. So literally the dolls attacked the bridges.
The dolls took over all the regions. Oh no.
I'm just making fun. Alright.
Well, at least we won't have to deal with Nattereth again.
True. Alright, so that brings us to the end of the new Genesis updates. Let's move on now to Clementine. Xance, why don't you go ahead and take these?
Yep. Okay, so first off, starting all the way down on April 1st on Update 50, that was when they had their Easter event. Which, no really big need to go over since that already ended. That ended on the April 15th. It was a mission that gave an insane amount of experience points. Like, I got my character from 160 to 169. Like, just from doing it like a few times. It was insane. But in terms of other stuff, balance changes. They had the Dam Techniques, Dam Digga, and Dam Megid status effect level has been increased to be 33345. Saw Megid has its modifier reduced to 40%, but can now deal. And status effects. Poison had its number of ticks reduced to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And Poison had its damage per tick increased to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7% from 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Infection had its number of ticks reduced to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. And Infection had its damage per tick increased to 9.999% from 5.5555%. And Infection and Poison had its special effect rate increased to 37 at level 5. And then the female Nanoblast animation has been adjusted to match male Nanoblast frame count for their action.
Alright, so it sounds like Infection is becoming more potent there.
Yes, it's like making it Infection's actually useful. And now the bigger one, update 51, which raised the level cap to 200. It is a massive grind, to say the least. I don't know exactly what the EXP required between 190 to 200 is, but from what I've heard, it's insanely big. There's a new room available, Factory Green, which is available at the casino for 10 silver coins. 2 new missions have been released. Lost Ruins, a custom-made mission by Random Z. And Planet Rush Param. Draw Knight has been added to Ecosystem Crisis, Robotanical Gardens, and Sacred Planet, S4. And To the Skies was added to The Dark God, Crimson Beast, Dusty Mines, Eastern Peril, and System Defense. Added Bigetsu Ultra Rare. Is that Ultra Rare or like the UR tag?
Yeah, ultra rare.
Ultimate weapon. Yeah, it's an ultimate weapon. To Cost of Research. Fuma Shuriken ultimate weapon added to Red Hot Jungle. Drill Knuckles ultimate weapon added to Dark Satellite. Harpo ultimate weapon into Caves of Ice. And Double Waber ultimate weapon added to Planet Rush Param and Bladed Legacy. Which makes sense for Bladed Legacy, because don't you fight Magatsu at the end of that?
Wait,
so.
did they gave
Wait, no, you
Ethan,
didn't.
they gave Ethan his own named weapon?
Yep. Yeah, you do fight Renvolt Magashi at the end of that, so that makes sense for Bladed Legacy for the Double Waber.
One of my least favorite characters in the Phantasy Star series gets his own weapon. Great.
Yeah, it's great. And then Shark Puppet ultimate weapon added to Lost Runes and Load Runners. And there's a new technique. The Ice Technique Nosbarda can be obtained at the Resident Security Department from the Lady in Blue. And they'll need Nosdiga, Blank Disc, and Race Spear 35. And then some balance changes. We got Blade Destruction, my favorite PA. Part 1 targets increased to 4 from 3. Shotgun Bullets PA. Scaling has been changed to 1%, so the lower levels are no longer nerfed. Level 50 damage unchanged. Twin Heaven Striker and /U weapon, the tracking angle has been greatly reduced or decreased. And Demolition Comet and U weapons adjusted the stats so of the ATP and PP and accuracy of the weapons. So ATP from 0 at 0 grinded is increased from 689 to 710, and then at full grinded is at 880 now. And the PP at not grinded is 700, and fully grinded is 800, and accuracy increased from 317 to 650. Meteor Drive SUV had its power increased to 7.5, and endurance increased to 7. Starlight Cluster increased its power to 4.25 and hits to 10. The Stern Burst increased power to 2.5 and endurance increased to 7. The Raffle Burst SUV power increased by 4.5, and the Grom Burst SUV power increased to 4.5. Hitbox angle reduced from 55 to 140, and endurance increased to 7. And then a bug issue. Fixed an issue where if your inventory was desynced, you could accidentally sell locked items. Oof.
Yeah,
That's a pretty big one. Imagine if you locked one of the like rarer weapons to get and then you accidentally sold it. Ugh.
Yeah, that never fun. Never fun when things like that happen. Alright, there was one other update here from Gnome here. And basically what they say here is, hey cuties, there's a discussion to be had about the future of Clementine and the limits of which we can change and what we should change. The topic is mainly how far should we stray from what Phantasy Star Universe is. Of course, we've already made significant changes to how PSU is and some of its systems. However, the gameplay has remained mostly the same. I'd like to pull the idea of changing some of the combat. This is to make other playstyles more viable / more fun. The best example would be updating swords to somewhat match how they perform in the later game Phantasy Star Portable 2 Infinity. Now this is just one example, but I'd like to get the general consensus and idea from our community before I give a solid yes or no answer to the ideas being talked about within our development. I'd also like to start pulling many of the ideas / changes that we come up with before putting effort into them. Sometimes we'll showcase something we find cool that has been done and still pull it. It has been mostly up to me to greenlight changes, and I'd like to put some of the control in the hands of the community. with that being said, basically they ask players to sound off with either a green light or a red light, and basically it is a landslide. There's like more than 90% responding green light on this thing. So I'm hoping they finally start to work on the story, but who knows if that's actually going to happen, because that effectively that's lost media at this point.
And something else that I will also vouch for, mentioned the updating the swords to match the performance of how it was in Portable to Infinity. I played Portable to Infinity a lot. I actually play it more than New Genesis, but I can actually vouch for the sword being better, because the main thing that sword improved on with Portable to Infinity was the quicker attacking speed. Because you know how it is in Universe, it's very slow.
Yeah.
But it makes up for it being slow by being strong. But it's just not, doesn't feel that fun to play. So what Portable Infinity did is just speed up the animation of attacking to make it actually more fun to play.
Gotcha.
So
I'm curious. Go ahead.
Sorry. So basically, they did kind of what they did to Hunter in PS and PSO2 when they updated it as well. I remember Hunter playing significantly slower.
Yeah, and then they just updated the Hunter to actually start attacking fast.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they've actually got the tech whereby maybe they could even do something crazier than that, like maybe implementing dodge rolling into the game.
Oh, and that's a huge thing in Portable to Infinity. Dodge rolling and blocking.
Yep.
And I mean,
I can at least see dodge rolling working by just setting up an animation and then just giving the player iframes through the whole thing.
Yep. It would be interesting to see if they could even implement that. But a big thing, what I would greatly appreciate is blocking, because that is such a thing. I use blocking all the time to Infinity. Most of the time, I just switch over to a two-handed rod I'm using that only has techniques on the first set, so that I'm able to block. And I use that a lot to cheese bosses.
Yep. If they can make that change happen, I mean, I might actually switch over to an acro fighter or a I can't remember what the master melee is called.
Yeah, after Fi Master?
Fi Master, I think, yeah. Alright.
Let me see here. Types. It is, yeah, Fi Master.
Alright, cool. Well, that's what we got from Clementine here. Hopefully we'll learn more about these changes soon enough. Lastly, we have Affinia, and for that, they are running their Easter event currently. The Easter lobby theme is active for the duration, and egg wrappies can spawn in VR Temple. The egg shop can be found under Episode 2 shop category. The drop rates for the event are as follows: Ultimate 1 out of 500, Very Hard 1 out of 1200, Hard 1 out of 1800, and Normal 1 out of 2000. These rates are not affected by any drop rate modifiers or server boosts. Event eggs cannot drop from enemies with 0% drop rate, such as those in quests like Beyond the Horizon. And furthermore, scared wrappies and boxes will not drop eggs either. And the egg shop contains various ways to spend your eggs. A shop ran by Ellie, where you can trade a set amount of eggs for materials, collectible items, or mag cells, along with a couple of other trinkets. An egg gamble, run by a male NPC on the left. And then also a mysterious Ramarl, who has traveled far to sell some mysterious items. And that's what we have from Affinia this time. That's pretty much everything that we had for today. Did we want to cover anything in specific from back during the headline at all?
I don't think so.
How about you, Rooks?
Not really. I think we already talked about. Well, I kind of dragged. I was interested in what caught my attention already.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, I want to also see what your thoughts on. So, back to the PSU Clement thing of changing up the gameplay, along with dodge rolling and blocking. What else would you think that they could possibly implement?
Well, like I said, the story, that's a big one, because there's no way to experience that currently, especially episode 3. Beyond that, I would say say again?
That would be nice. NPC characters, partner
yeah,
cards.
partner cards. I would also say, if it's possible, maybe try porting some of the Infinity quests over to Clementine. Like what is it? I think it's the Gematsu, which gives you that beat 'em up style mission.
Can I?
Or something similar to like Goral Heroes.
What's up, Brooks?
If you
Well, if you look in Discord, Aaron just brought up an interesting point. In the new Genesis version 2 logo, Gyra is colored a different color now. It's colored red now.
Let me bring this up. Yeah, there it is.
For instance, Helfa now is no longer displayed is no longer being displayed, and Gyra is now changed its color.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I guess we'll see what that means here.
It's kind of one of those things where they were saying we weren't getting everything, and as I said, if they have any big cards hidden, if they have any big tricks hidden up their sleeve, it probably would be best to hold those close to their chest until they could reveal them.
Yeah, and I was taking another look at the star chart that was located in Crawford's room, and when I combined what we learned in terms of our ID name, I think I finally figured out how to read that thing, and that basically you need to look for where the 9 planets are, where the 9 planets are. There are more rings than planets, I will note that, and they may note planets that have been destroyed or planets that never formed properly, basically being an asteroid belt, but there are 9 planets displayed on that star chart. That are around rings, and through process of elimination, by looking at how many planets we see in the sky, we find that Halpha is on the upper right portion of that chart. So it's interesting that through that little hint, we finally got the information we needed to at least understand how to read the thing. Now, granted, I wish the resolution was better so we could actually learn what the names of some of these planets are, but that's still kind of going to show, Sega had this plan the whole time, and now I guess it's just a matter of them acting on that plan. It feels a lot like, if I can relate to another game here, it kind of feels like that secret room back in Arkham Asylum. Except we didn't have to blow up a wall to see this thing.
Mm-hmm. It kind of looked like they have some sort of plan, but whenever they, like how the apology was made, whenever they started pushing out NGS, they realized, oh shit, we need to actually take more time to develop things, push this out too soon.
Yep. And I'm hoping that with the change of the title here to version 2, this will at least this will get more players coming back again, because this is, I think multiple people have said it at this point, this is effectively this game's a Realm Reborn moment here.
Hopefully, we'll see.
Yep.
And we gotta hope that they weren't just showing us the best parts of the update. Because if that's all there
they
is,
were showing the best parts.
I've got my
here's
doubts
the
that
thing,
they were. I think they're holding some good stuff to their chest. It's just they needed time to develop it, and they really couldn't they really couldn't show us any of this stuff except for creative spaces because of Chapter 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just going back to how New Genesis was basically what we saw in the pre-release phase of New Genesis, where we were actually looking inside, where we actually got to play the beta, and then we also got to see some of the content. Basically, we didn't know it at that time, but we had seen everything that New Genesis was going to release with, for the most part. There was no big surprises
Right.
when it released. And I'm just worried that we might be looking at another situation of that. It's one of those things I hope Sega learned their lesson this time. Because if they pull that again, not only is this going to kill New Genesis, I don't care how good the creative space is, it will kill New Genesis. It will also kill any other game like this, because, well, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. They
Yep.
will not trust Sega again, and Sega needs to learn that they have to keep their reputation up.
Yep. We're gonna have players screaming to drop New Genesis and go back to PSO2 at that point.
But yeah, at least they did admit it. So
Sorry, I keep railing on that, because it's one of those things where Sega keeps. They didn't even learn it until just lately with Sonic. So it's like we have seen a long history of the upper management of Sega completely up continuously and pushing things out when it wasn't ready.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they have a history of doing that all the time.
Yep. Speaking of Sonic, that's something else that's going to be coming up here, isn't it? In June, we got Sonic's birthday coming up on the 23rd of June.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and we
Probably.
may actually be getting a story update to Sonic Frontiers. They're going to be releasing, making multiple characters freshly available to play around that time as well.
Oh yeah,
So-
they're gonna have like Tails, Knuckles, and Amy playable.
Yep. The
And,
reason I go
and we
ahead.
might actually see the conclusion of of that of a certain end credit scene.
Well, the reason I brought it up is they did actually mention that cross content stuff. So I'm wondering if maybe the first part of that is going to be maybe Sonic Frontiers related.
That, if that's the case, we might actually see this might actually be the beginning of the Super Game project. Maybe it's not just a crossover, but they're actually going to connecting the different series.
Maybe. I guess we'll have to see here. And yeah, with Chimera admitting that was definitely a good thing. And let's be honest, this is not the first time Sega has been incompetent. I remember the launch of Phantasy Star Universe in Japan very well. They had to shut the servers down like less than a week into it because the servers couldn't handle it, and then the servers didn't come back up again for like a whole week.
Not to mention their response to the Meseta exploit that happened on Global, and then they didn't do a rollback, which completely fucked over the economy of that.
Yep. Yeah. It's, Sega finally started to get things together around episode 6, and then they just dropped it for some reason. So, let's hope that version 2 comes out better, and that, we'll be able to put this whole thing behind us. Maybe they'll jump characters to the start of version 2's story, or new characters rather, but I guess we'll have to see on that.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone want to bring anything else up today?
Nope, I got everything covered myself.
Nope, not right now.
All right. Well, then that brings us to the end of this episode. On behalf of Rooks, Xance, and myself, thank you for joining us today. Day has dawned. Have a great day, everyone.
Johnny.
See ya.